Tonight, we're checking in with the Kittitas County Jail, now getting the chance to continue a program intended to help people fight opioid addiction behind bars. Plus, California Representative Kevin McCarthy no longer the House Speaker, and there's no clear candidate to replace him. We're tracking that developing news from Capitol Hill.
Well, a little cloudy and breezy tonight, but a really long, beautiful stretch of weather ahead of us. I'll tell you all about it in your First Alert weather forecast.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. Governor Jay Inslee has signed off on the paperwork to send 36-year-old Shanna Gardner back to Florida, where she's charged with killing her ex-husband, Microsoft executive Jared Bridegan. Now, prosecutors say Gardner and her current husband hired an acquaintance to ambush and kill Bridegan last year. Gardner moved to West Richland shortly afterward. In August of this year, police arrested her at her home in connection with the case. Now, although Washington and Florida now have an agreement to extradite Gardner, it's not clear when that will happen. The Kittitas County Jail is almost at the end of a 3-year federal grant funding medications for opioid use disorder. But thanks to an additional $80,000 DOJ grant, they'll be able to keep this program going. It uses medications like Suboxone to help reduce withdrawal symptoms in inmates struggling with an opioid use disorder. The grant covers medication and medical providers needed to administer it, plus independent research on the program's effectiveness. Now, researchers say 3 years has already made a big difference in the recidivism rate, which went from 35% before the program to 22% early on. Now they say it's under 12%.
By producing this research, which we're happy to cooperate with, happy to do, hopefully we're going to be building a body of knowledge that's going to help corrections facilities throughout our state and country.
Well, jail officials say the program complements other efforts they've made to increase the options for inmates who need treatment for substance use disorders or mental health issues. Now let's talk about your forecast. After a lot of rain yesterday, we saw big changes today. Stacey Lee has a look at what to expect this evening.
That's right. It started out a bit gloomy and wet this morning, but skies have cleared, a few clouds rolling around, and we're starting to see those winds pick up in the Yakima, Kittitas Valley, Columbia River Gorge, a little bit lighter in the Columbia Basin and foothills of the Blues. Let's look outside. Legends Casino Skycam, 73 degrees right now. It is beautiful this afternoon. Our winds are light at 9 miles per hour. Our sunset at 6:33. Here's what's coming up. Partly cloudy and breezy, mild and sunny tomorrow. A beautiful weekend ahead. In fact, a nice long stretch of beautiful weather and more rain coming up next week. Let's check our temps for the next 24 hours, gradually declining down into the 50s, and check it out. Clear skies, 75 in the afternoon. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. Yakima, again, a little on the cool side, will drop down into the upper 40s there and gradually climb up to the mid 70s with lots of sunshine. So look for clearing skies and a little bit cool tonight, but a beautiful day ahead. I'll talk more about that in my First Alert full weather forecast. Alyssa.
Thanks, Stacey. The Washington Department of Ecology and the Yakima Health District are now using thermal data to monitor an ongoing underground fire at the DTG Anderson landfill in Yakima. DTG Recycle has been working with state and county officials as well as a landfill fire consultant to address this fire. Their current strategy is to smother it with soil and place gas probes near hotspots to monitor for gas emissions while they work on a long-term plan to get that fire completely extinguished. Now, ecology officials recently sent out a thermal drone to check the temperatures at 3 areas on site to help them get a fuller picture of the situation.
The thermal data gives us more information about what we already think we know about the fire, and it helps confirm if the soil cover is working and what we need to change in our approach to address it.
Now, while the investigation into potential contamination continues, ecology officials said so far the fire looks to be controlled. There's no sign of additional hazards. On Capitol Hill today, Vice President Kamala Harris swore LaFonza Butler into the United States Senate. Now, Butler is California Governor Gavin Newsom's pick to replace the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. She was a somewhat controversial pick since Butler moved from California to Maryland after becoming the president of a Democratic fundraising group in 2021. She's also never held an elected political office. Butler is expected to serve as California's senator until November of next year. In the House, continuing chaos. Lawmakers today voted to remove House Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his leadership position. This is the first time that has ever happened. Now, you might remember at the beginning of this year, it took more than a dozen rounds of voting for McCarthy to win the speakership in the first place. Ahead of the vote to remove McCarthy, some lawmakers within his own party said they were concerned that he relied on votes from Democrats to avoid a government shutdown over the weekend.
The Speaker fought through 15 votes in January to become Speaker, but was only willing to fight through one failed CR before surrendering to the Democrats on Saturday.
You know, when Gates was asked this morning who's next, he didn't have an answer. So in other words, you can embrace chaos, but if you don't have an answer on how best to move forward, then get out of the way. These type of asinine gestures don't help us at all.
Now, this vote means the House has to find a successor before they continue working on the budget. That deadline was moved with a continuing resolution, but it is set for November 17th. Today, Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to felony gun charges in federal court. He's facing 2 counts, accused of lying on forms required to buy a gun and then of having a gun that he wasn't allowed as a drug user. These new charges coming after a plea deal between Hunter Biden and prosecutors fell apart in July. They're the first charges since David Weiss, who's a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney who has been investigating Hunter Biden since 2018, was elevated to special counsel by Attorney General Merrick Garland. That happened in August. Hunter Biden's attorney said they plan on filing a motion to dismiss the case soon, saying they plan to challenge the constitutionality of at least one charge and arguing that elements of the prior plea deal that fell apart are still in effect. Meanwhile, former President Trump also returned to court today. He's facing a civil fraud trial in New York, accused of lying about his business assets in order to get better deals. The judge already ruled that Trump and his sons engaged in fraud. This trial is to determine how much he and his company will pay in damages and penalties. The New York Attorney General is asking for at least $250 million in penalties and a ban on Trump doing business in the state. It's the first time prosecutors have filed charges against police officers under the rules set by I-940, making it easier to prosecute officers over the use of force here in Washington. 3 Tacoma police officers are on trial, charged with murder and manslaughter in the death of Manuel Ellis. Now, Ellis died in March of 2020 after police officers allegedly punched him, deployed a taser, put him in a chokehold, and held him face down on the ground, even though Ellis said he couldn't breathe. The Pierce County Medical Examiner said that Ellis died because of lack of oxygen. Lawyers for the officers hired experts who say Ellis had a history of medical conditions and chronic drug use, including, they say, using meth on the night that he died.
He's in handcuffs and it still takes multiple officers to try and subdue him. Again, our opinion is that again shows the effects of methamphetamine.
Now, as to why officers interacted with Ellis in the first place, police say Ellis hit the window of their cruiser and then swung his fists at them. 3 civilian witnesses have said they only saw Ellis walk by the cruiser and speak to the officers. Good Shepherd Healthcare System has gotten nearly $50,000 grant from the Oregon Center for Nursing, which is intended to boost workers' mental health. This is part of the RN Well-Being Program. The grant is for providing counseling to healthcare workers. Many stressors impact the ability for nurses to perform at their best, which causes many to quit their jobs or take long leaves of absence, which affects the community and increases the work shortage in hospitals even more.
Healthcare workers have been through so much the last few years, as we all know. And this grant's going to help us provide additional support to our employees. That's so needed right now. It's vital that we take care of our workforce so that they can then take care of our community members.
Now, Good Shepherd has already implemented counseling services on-site or virtually to help healthcare workers find better coping mechanisms to help deal with the stress of the job. A follow-up tonight, the drug companies that make 10 medications targeted for price negotiation say they are willing to work with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, even though they're also suing to stop the price negotiation process. Now, opponents say because CMS is a government agency, letting them negotiate prices with the drug manufacturers amounts to the government forcing companies to give up their product at a lower price. So far, though, it doesn't seem like that argument is going to hold up in court. One judge pointed out last week the companies aren't required to do business with CMS. Still no sign of a deal tonight between the United Auto Workers and the big 3 automakers. One analysis says the strike has cost nearly $4 billion in just the first 2 weeks. And now automakers are announcing layoffs that they're blaming on slowdowns in the manufacturing process because of the strike. General Motors is laying off 164 workers at stamping plants in Parma, Ohio and Marion, Indiana. Workers there aren't on strike, but the metal parts they stamp are sent to assembly lines, and those have been impacted by the strike. Ford is laying off 330 workers at stamping plant in Chicago and an engine plant in Lima, Ohio. Now, this comes after GM already laid off more than 1,800 workers. Ford laid off 600. As we mentioned last night, tens of thousands of healthcare workers with Kaiser Permanente are planning to go on strike tomorrow. We're told this does not involve Kaiser Permanente Washington, but it would still be the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history and have a significant impact on Oregon. Now, the healthcare workers say they are planning to strike for just 3 days, although they could stage another walkout in November if a contract isn't approved before then. Now we're talking about lots of changes in your forecast. It's beautiful out there as we take a look outside. When we can expect to see those temperatures start to creep upward coming up. And still ahead on Apple Valley News Now at 5, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tonight, we're learning about the importance of screening from someone who went through the process.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' comp attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411, Bothwell and Hamill.
Stop thinking, let things happen, and be the ball. Better yet, see the ball with K2 Vision RLE. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Thank you for getting groceries, Mika.
Of course. Happy to help. Will Medicare cover any of these bills?
I thought it would, but it doesn't.
We'll get through this. I will always be here for you.
I know. But what about you? I don't ever want you to be in this situation.
Don't worry, Dad. With WA Cares, I'm earning long-term care benefits with each paycheck. That money will be there when I need it.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? Did you know this? Oh, of course you did. It's sitting right in front of you. Sorry. I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real?
Hey, baby, wait.
Oh, yep. That just got really real. Grab a chicken strip and fry rings basket.
Okay, just one. Just one.
DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar. We're shaking things up.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. Law is a complicated matter. Our team of experts will fight for you and help you find the best solution for your situation. Don't let life's challenges get the best of you. We're here to help. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit our website at quantumlegal.com.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and while the annual rate of deaths is going down, doctors say breast cancer is still the leading cause of cancer deaths among women, and early detection is key to survival. Here's Mandy Gaither.
Kind of looked down and I was like, what is this? It was like a snowball rolling downhill.
In just weeks, Felicia Brown went from finding a lump in the shower to a diagnosis of stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. After that came 6 months of chemo, then a double mastectomy and radiation treatments.
If it had not have been for me noticing that what I had wasn't there the day before, I probably wouldn't have been here.
The American Cancer Society says early detection is critical, and so is knowing your breast cancer risk.
Breast cancer screening is much more than just about your age. It's about your family history,
your genetics, if you know them, and your own personal medical history.
When to start screening will depend on your risk. The organization says women at average risk for breast cancer should begin talking to their doctor about the best time to start screenings in their early 40s. By age 45, there should be a mammogram every year.
Grab your girlfriends, support each other in breast cancer screening.
Women at high risk for breast cancer should get a breast MRI and mammogram every year starting around age 30, and everyone should pay attention to changes in their bodies.
Here I am, almost 17 years cancer-free. And I just continue to just live in that. And I thank God and my family every day.
The American Cancer Society says there are ways to reduce your risk of breast cancer. Those include things like being physically active, maintaining a healthy body weight, and reducing your alcohol intake. Well, McDonald's McRib sandwich was supposed to be off the menu forever after it did a farewell tour last year, but it's already coming out of retirement. The chain confirms that the boneless barbecue pork sandwich will return to some locations next month. It's not clear yet, though, where the McRib will be available. And a new survey says fast food is getting faster in many places, not at McDonald's or KFC, though. InTouch Insight looked at the average wait time at 10 quick service restaurants. They found in 2023, most people spent under 8 minutes in the drive-thru. Taco Bell had the fastest times with under 5 minutes. Wendy's got their average time down under 6 minutes, shaving off almost a minute and a half compared to last year. McDonald's holding steady at almost 7 minutes. Now, is that because fewer people are eating at drive-thrus? Maybe. The researchers also looked at the average time per car. They found at many places it actually almost doubled from 2022.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And let's take a look at the beautiful conditions we have tonight. Mostly clear skies, a few clouds out there. Right now, 73 degrees, Dust Devil Giza sky cam. Humidity up at 53%. Winds are at 9 miles per hour. Our sunset tonight at 6:33. Now, where are the cool temperatures going? Here's what the key player is. Look at this air mass over most of Oregon, down into Southern California, across Nevada, into Utah, again, and parts of Montana. We were seeing some snow activity there today. Ridge of high pressure, though, is what's coming into our region. Again, that's out on the Pacific. That's going to make its way onto shore. That's going to give us mostly clear skies. We still see a few clouds, but most activity will stay to the north due to that ridge of low pressure there. So again, ridge of high pressure moves in. That brings us sunshine and beautiful warm temperatures. Let's take a look at our futurecast. Once those clouds move out tonight, it is looking nice and clear as we move through your day Wednesday. Wednesday morning, nice and clear. Again, as we move through the day and get into Thursday, we see clear skies. So very nice weather ahead of us with that ridge of high pressure moving into the area. Futurecast winds, we are watching those winds starting to pick up tonight in the Mountain Gap areas, Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, Columbia River Gorge. Very breezy there. Lighter breezes in the Columbia Basin. It'll be a bit windy through the evening. Tomorrow looking better. We'll see some breezy winds tomorrow morning here in the Columbia Basin, and a little bit gusty there in Dayton tomorrow morning as well. As the day progresses, we'll calm down here in the Columbia Basin, but those winds once again pick up through those Mountain Gap areas. Nothing too substantial, but again, just a warning for those breezy to gusty winds. Temperature trend, this is good news. Our average 74. Look at these temps. We're going to be right at average into Thursday, above average into the weekend. Sunday, very warm, and then we're going to start to decrease on Monday as we'll see another system moving in. Yakima's looking just as nice as the Columbia Basin. Nice warm day on Sunday, and then the cool down is coming Monday. Temperatures around the region tonight still on the cool side, but again, slightly warmer than we were last night. We're seeing some 50 degrees pop up there in Ellensburg, 49 in Yakima, 46 in Tompkinish tonight. Columbia Basin, we've got 50s all around there, 48 for Hanford and Prosser, 47 in Connell. And then taking a look towards foothills of the Blues, we've got the 40s and 50s. So it's going to be beautiful, albeit a little bit breezy, especially in the Kittitas Valley overnight tonight. Tomorrow's daytime highs, it's going to be lovely. Upper 60s to low 70s, foothills of the Blues, mid 70s here in the Columbia Basin. Same thing down the Yakima Kittitas Valley. So let's plan your day tomorrow. Look at this, nice and clear. Look at the sunny weather, clear skies, 50s, the 70s by the middle of the day, dropping down to the 60s. Beautiful weather there. Gorgeous in the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities. Look for our daytime high near 75. Probably going to feel like summer is back, right, with those temperatures. And in Walla Walla, we start out at 51, but we make it up to 70 by 4 o'clock. So overall, great looking weather moving forward. We'll get to your 7-day planning forecast here in just a few minutes. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacy. Up next on Apple Valley News Now at 5, we're learning more about a 9-year-old girl snatched during a family camping trip in upstate New York, then found safe 2 days later. The crucial clue that officials are talking about tonight. And it's MLB playoff season. You can watch the American League Wild Card Series between the Texas Rangers and the Tampa Bay Rays right here on ABC. So Game 1 was this afternoon. Game 2 coming up tomorrow. And we could see a Game 3 on Thursday if needed.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
Carl's Jr.'s new Big Char Chili Burger is big on charbroiled flavor, big on smoky sweet heat with a whole charred Anaheim chili, and big on savings with the Big Char Chili Combo for just $7.99.
Watch me. Watch me jump, dive, and splash. Put me by a pool, I'll be soaked in a flash. A girl in the water to swim like a fish. Just 2 simple legs, that was my wish. I'm a sea turtle, shark, a seal on a slide. This is my day of fun, with nothing to hide. Watch me. Pioneers in orthotic and prosthetic technology at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Tonight, Hunter Biden's plea on federal firearms charges. Plus, chaos on the Hill, House Republicans battling each other. What's next for Speaker McCarthy? More Americans turn to the most watched program on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Are you looking for a bank that has traditional values and modern solutions? Are you looking for a bank that is member-owned? Are you looking for a bank that leaves a lasting impact on the community? I've got news for you. You're not looking for a bank. Belong to something better. Join Hapo Community Credit Union, where you are more than just a member. Visit hapo.org to join today. Where do you credit union?
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. Plus, receive $1,000 off your new siding project for new construction as well as remodels. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Businesses, community organizations, and people of all walks of life have joined together for Riverfest 2023. Riverfest is free family fun entertainment featuring exhibitors, live music, and vendors showcasing all the benefits of our river system. Join us Saturday, October 7th from 10 to 3 at Columbia Park in Kennewick. Find out more at riverfestwa.com or on Facebook. Riverfest 2023. Our rivers, our life. Bring the whole family.
Carl's Jr.'s new Big Char Chili Burger is big on charbroiled flavor, big on smoky sweet heat with a whole charred Anaheim chili, and big on savings with the Big Char Chili Combo for just $7.99.
Welcome back. Your phone is going to make some noise tomorrow at 11:20 in the morning. FEMA is planning a nationwide test of the emergency alert system. It's going to go to every phone. It does not matter if the phone is set to silent. Now that means if you are in a situation where you need to have a secret phone for any reason, you are going to want to turn it off to avoid getting that alert. A 9-year-old girl who disappeared while riding her bike on a family camping trip over the weekend is safe. She was rescued last night, and now investigators are trying to figure out what happened. Now, it happened in upstate New York. Hundreds of people spent around 48 hours searching for this little girl, but officials say she hadn't just wandered off. Law enforcement officers arrested a 47-year-old man who is accused of kidnapping her. Officials say a ransom note helped them crack the case.
State police immediately go to the mailbox and identify what is a ransom note that had been left behind for Charlotte. In the morning, opens the mailbox and inserts the ransom note, leaving a critical piece of evidence behind, his own fingerprint.
Now, it's not clear what the motive in this kidnapping might have been. Investigators say they're working to determine if it was a crime of opportunity or if the family was deliberately targeted. World News Tonight will have continuing coverage of this developing story coming up at 5:30. But first, we'll have a final check on your forecast. That's next on Apple Valley News Now.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
What's better than the perfect cut of meat for a tasty meal? That's easy. The perfect cut of meat on sale.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only with great savings on USDA Choice Angus Beef New York Steak, $6.98 a pound. Limit 2 packages. Jennie-O Bone-In Turkey Breast, $1.98 a pound. Prairie Fresh Boneless Pork Loin Roast, $1.98 a pound.
Super One Foods 12-hour meat sale this Thursday only. The savings are sizzling.
Stop thinking, let things happen, and be the ball. Better yet, see the ball with K2 Vision RLE. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Who is Culligan? Your local water experts since 1936. The world's most efficient water softener. Safer drinking water in every glass. Convenient, reliable delivery. Industry-leading technology. Here for every water worry.
With every load secured, every cigarette butt that doesn't go out the window, every fast food bag that arrives at its proper destination, and every time we politely say, hey, there's a better place for that, Washington gets a little cleaner, a little safer, a little more breathtaking. Because small choices add up to a home we can all be proud of. We keep Washington litter-free.
To see if you qualify for Hanford worker compensation, please call Smart Law for a free consultation at 1-877-630-1122. Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses, including neurological, respiratory and heart conditions, cancers, and beryllium-related disorders. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Call Smart Law at 1-877-630-1122 for Hanford worker compensation. Smart Law in Yakima and Tri-Cities.
Vegas action is closer than you think. The fun is waiting for you at Nob Hill Casino. Come in and pull up a chair at your choice of blackjack, pai gow, heads up hold'em, or high card flush, and play with the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club to take your game to the next level and earn rewards for food, bowling, prizes, and cash. There's always a spot for you at Nob Hill Casino where the locals play.
It's the ultimate ladies' night out at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar as Apple Valley News Now hosts the official Golden Bachelor watch party each Thursday night. Get awesome food and drinks, plus win great prizes as we all watch Tri-City's own Faith Martin compete for the Golden Bachelor.
I'm Gary. I'm your first Golden Bachelor.
The official Golden Bachelor watch party Thursday nights at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar in Columbia Center. From Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar, Active for Life, and Apple Valley News Now.
All right, the numbers are getting up there again. Tomorrow night's Powerball drawing is now worth $1.2 billion. It's the largest one of the year so far. It's been months since anybody took home the jackpot, which was over $1 billion the last time it was won as well. The next drawing is coming up tomorrow night at 8. Now, your odds of winning still around 1 in 292 million. That doesn't change. But if you take the cash option with this jackpot, you would receive more than $500 million before taxes. That's still a lot of money.
Like I always say, you can't win if you don't play.
There you go.
So
I think a lot of people are going to be on that
jackpot,
track.
but I have a winner from this last drawing, so
there you go.
I'm all in.
It feels like the forecast is a win for everybody.
The forecast is going to be glorious. So even if you don't hit the lottery, the Powerball, check this out. It's going to be beautiful, long stretch of really nice weather. Man, I wish it was like this all summer and all fall, really. Temperatures into the weekend, nice and warm. And then we switch back to the cloudy skies, cooler temperatures and rain next week. Look at Tri-Cities, 77. That's going to feel pretty warm as we've gotten used to these cooler temps. So a little bit cool, though, overnight for the next few days. But again, those showers, Alyssa, and the cooler weather, that's popping back into the forecast next week. But I say enjoy what you got. Again, several beautiful days ahead. Lots of sunshine in the Walla Walla Valley. And again, we cool down from those mid and upper 70s down to the 60s again on Tuesday. So Again, Powerball, nice weather. It's all looking good.
It's great. And with the days getting shorter, I will take every moment of sunshine we can get.
Perfect.
Thanks, Stacey. And thank you so much for watching. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. We're back tonight at 6. And you can find the latest anytime on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.